Hi everyone, this is Holiday with Holiday's Wigs, and I'm going to take my beautiful human hair Uni Wigs wig and put some bangs into this girl. Now, I honestly think, look at how beautiful that part is, and if you want to see more of her, you can look at my review on her that I did a couple months ago or so. But honestly, I'm just totally in a bang phase. I'm tired of poking my own hair out. I just want a break. And I really love how I look in bangs. And so stay tuned because you're going to see how I cut bangs in my own human hair wig. Another really big reason I want bangs in this wig is it actually is just too much hair for me. I love way less density than this. And I can't seem to get it from going out of my face. And I think bangs will really help cut this part out a little bit more. And so I think that's also a huge part. And as you can see, this part is not the prettiest. It's this part that's gorgeous. So I think that bang will kind of cover that and make that less noticeable. And then this can be more obvious as a part line. The thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure. I think I've done bangs a couple times before and I generally do okay. And I think that's because I don't measure appropriately, which I guess technically I'm not now because I should have a measuring ruler or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually say, I'm going to start with probably this whole thing. I think it's better to start taking off, a lot, but then a little and then a little and a little, and not expect to get it perfect the first cut. I don't want to ruin this wig. It's really, your wigs can't grow back like our own hair, so we're not as given with errors because they're not forgiven as easily. So let's start. So I'm going to start off with making that kind of mountain shaped part that I've seen in previous videos. I think in most videos I've looked at, they have been doing it on themselves instead of on a wig, which I'm not really sure what's easier. It's probably much easier to do it on a wig with it off, because then you can see a little bit more of what's going on. You're not trying to figure it out in a mirror. So lots of pros to having a wig and doing it on a wig. So I think that looks about what I want to start with. I do kind of want a more chill bang, like I don't want a really thick bang. And then I'll just put a little bit of layers on each side. So, like I said, I was going to measure it and start off small. So I'm going to probably cut it right about here, just to start off with. I know it's going to be a little long, but like I said, we can't grow back our wigs, so might as well be safer than sorry. So let me move that over there. Look at how much came off. Lots of length. And then I'm going to just take off probably another inch or so, because looking at that, I know that's way too long. But if you're nervous, I would put it on you first and double check the length on you. And that would probably help a lot with making sure that it's not a mistake. So I'm going to try it on really quick and see where we're at. As you can see, it's just a little bit definitely on the long side. I'm going to say at least another inch. I do plan to want longer kind of wispy bangs and curl them under. So I do want them a little bit more on the long side, but let's try this. So here we go. Let me pull this back out together. It was definitely quite a bit more. I'm going to say here. The last wig I put bangs in, which was a beautiful Jon Renau bob in Palm Springs Blonde, which I'll probably show you guys one of these days, is I liked them well enough. They definitely didn't look exactly what I wanted because I wanted the wispy bangs, but I kind of got a little bit more of a blunt cut, and then I was a little too nervous to try again on them. So let me pull this down a little bit more so it's a little more even. I did see a lot of people, they will like chop a little bit on the ends, and I'm kind of planning on doing that, but we'll see what this looks like first. Right now, you can I kind of have the thickness that I want, which is super great, but I don't have that length. I need to trim it like this much left because it's a little too much in my eyes. So let's see. So here we go. Maybe the last time. That would be so exciting. And then I am gonna definitely add in some layers on the sides. I just think that would go much better. I think just a little bit more. As you can see, I am definitely doing this kind of blunt cut looking. I think I will feather that a little bit more in the ends once I get finally the length that I want. So let's try it. But this is the finished project. I like it a lot. It's kind of what I was looking for. I actually am surprised because I did think it was going to be a little bit thinner with how little I grabbed of the hair. I'm really surprised it's even this thick. I was expecting it to be a little thinner, but especially when I use a blow dryer to it, maybe a hot iron, it will get a lot more, I think, of what I am looking for. It's a little straight though. I think needs just some wind factor or something. I need to kind of heat that right there too. Okay, so now that I've gotten into the bangs, I just want, I think, just for it to blend a little bit more right here. So let's see how that goes. So to do this part, I'm just gonna make sure that each side is even and take a little bit more like this and take a little bit more like that. That looks pretty good. Do I want that part? I think I will. And that should be good. Now, I'm just gonna honestly doing it, since I'm looking at it, I'm gonna just start off with, now this might be the total wrong way of doing this, by the way. So I'm not really trying to teach you so much as you can get to see what I did, and then we'll see the end results and see if it was good. So starting off at the right side, it was about there. Okay. I'm just kind of going at the same speed as I did on the other side. And then let's see what that did. It's just a little bit longer on this side, so I'm going to trim that just a little bit. There we go. Alrighty, let's try that a little bit. And you know what I do want to do is, I do like it better when the bangs are kind of like layered into the rest of the hair. So I'm just going to very lightly do that here. I'm going to really spread this so it's super thin all the way around like that. There you go. That's a little bit better. And then I'm actually going to go from higher, which hopefully I don't totally regret that. We shall see what I think about this. All right, okay, and then we're gonna do that same thing over here. I'm gonna make this really flat and really spread apart. Let me get my fingers in the right stuff. Okay, and then here we go. Okay. All right, you guys, let's see. So that looks pretty even. That one's just a little bit longer, but you see it kind of starts in the same spot. And then this one's still a little longer right here. I'm not sure how much I care about that. I don't know how noticeable that would be, but all right, let's put it on. Okay, so other than this part needing to have some serious straight ironing thing right there, this one's just pop it up a little bit. Let's see what this looks like. I definitely see it. I see it like right here, and these layers right here. And I do see it like how it flows like this, which I wanted. I wanted it to flow down the sides of my face. This really needs to be flat ironed, so maybe that's what's messing me up. And I see it a little bit over here, but for some reason not as much as on the other side. But let me see. See when I tuck my ear back. Yeah, I do like that. That looks really pretty. Yeah, I definitely feel like the density matches me a little bit more. I like the layers that I put in, although it's definitely not a lot. I am nervous kind of putting in a lot more, to be honest. I'm gonna fix up my bangs, do a little heat on them, and then we'll come back and see what they look like. So here we are. I think it's pretty dang close to what I wanted. I think I wanted a little more feathering, but I guess I didn't really do that kind of feathering type of maneuver. So that's on me. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of what I wanted. So I think the one thing is, and something I didn't think about, is because this naturally parts here, like it was pre-made that way, I do feel like it naturally gets this, like a line there as well, even with the heat. So I think I would want to like curl it or do something like that. I could always also make them side bangs, which actually is not a bad idea. I probably could have done that too. But yeah, so this is the final mix. So you saw what I did, you saw the result. If you like it, like it. If you don't, don't. You know, kind of figure out if you're gonna cut your own bangs on your wig. But I'm content. I think it's pretty good. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye!